Dear Cousin Tassie, thank you for the lovely postcards. I trust that you and Aunt Mitty had a pleasant trip, and that all your stateside friends and paternal relations are healthy and happy. Much has happened during your 1-month sojourn off-island. Perhaps your village neighbors have apprised you, or you may have glanced at one of the editions of the Island Tribune that have no doubt accumulated on your doorstep. However, I will make the safest assumption that you have yet to be offered the full account of certain crucial events of the last few days, tucked away, as you and your mother are, in your quiet and rustic little corner of our island paradise, and inform you of the most critical facts pertaining to such events. You'll find it all, if nothing else, quite interesting. On Monday, July 17th, a most intriguing thing took place. One of the tiles from the top of the cenotaph at town center came loose and fell to the ground, shattering into a good many pieces. A young girl here, one Alice Butterworth, discovered the fallen tile at the base of the statue, carefully gathered up the bits and shards, and quickly conveyed them to the offices of the High Island Council. Tiny Alice delivered these fragments into the hands of Most Senior Gordon Willingham, who promptly called an emergency meeting of that lofty body to glean purpose and design from this sudden and unexpected detachation. This aforementioned gleaning, this is important. Many in town were in attendance at this critical meeting. Olive, whom the Laundress Corps elected to attend as our representative/observer, given the need for a nearly full contingent of workers at the laundrette on this particular day, returned much later than expected to report the have and say of the lengthy session, specifically with regard to the aforementioned issue and question before the council. I must own that we were quite taken by the council's initial reaction to the incident, most of us regarding it as mere happenstance. The council, on the other hand, sought with leap-dash urgency to grasp sign and signal from the loss, and having offered themselves several possible explanations, retired with all dispatch to closed-door chambers for purpose of solemn debate and disposition. In so doing, Most Senior Council Member Willingham and his 4 fellow councilators left themselves scant room for the possibility that the tile fell simply because, after 100 years, whatever fixant had been holding it in place could simply no longer perform its function. This explanation seemed quite the logical one to me, as well as to my fellow laundresses, with the single exception of one Lydia Threadgate, who holds the council in bloated esteem due to a past bestowal of council beneficence, and who would not be dissuaded by a healthy dose of our dull brass and paupers punch brand of logic. However, in the end, our assessments and opinions counted for, and continue to count for, precious little, and we have kept our public speculation to a minimum for fear of government reprisal. So charged with distrust and suspicion have the esteemed island elders and eldress become following last year's unfortunate visit by that predatory armada of land speculators from the States, harboring designs for turning our lovely island Shangri-La into a denatured resort destination for American cruise ships. With the council in high conference for the succeeding 48 hours, the Washboard Brigade made at least 2 pilgrimages to town center, there to gaze up at the much-revered cenotaph and its salt, wind-eroded statuary likeness of our most venerated Mr. Nevin Nollop, the man for whom this island nation was lovingly named, the man without whom this shifting slab of sand and palmetto would hold paltry placement in the annals of world history. We take significant pride here in town, as you and your fellow villagers no doubt do as well, there in your green canopied hills to the north of us. Pride in the man and his legacy. Such legacy immortalized in tiled Bandiford on the crown of the pedestal upon which his sculpted semblance stands. The quick, brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Of course, now, without the tile bearing the letter Z, the phrase lazy dog has become lay dog.